house. What's up, MJ?
What's up, Big J?
Hey,
What's going down?
love it.
Woo!
All right, you guys. Well, welcome. You are ISOBSQ People Express Business Zoom, where we go pro, and I'm so excited. You know what this means right now, this second, that I get to have all the power in the universe and mute you all, and you know how much that thrills me. So you're all muted now. And I get to get on with the introductions. I'm really so, I want to say the word stoked. Does that date me? I'm so stoked right now to have this man on here training us tonight. I had the honor, gosh, when I was pretty new in Isogenics, to host him and all that he had, all the greatness that he had to give us, all the wisdom within network marketing and teach us how to really do it right. I had the honor to host him because Ms. Rhonda Collier was out of town, and she's like, would you like to do this? And I'm like, okay. And she recommended me. And I was a nervous wreck, but I wasn't going to let anybody know that. I was a nervous wreck because of the history that he has. And I do have a little bit of the bio pulled up. And so before we get started, I want to let you guys know who our trainer is and kind of what he's done. And probably he'll tell you a little bit more about himself, but he's really a big deal. So MJ Durkin has been, I think, in business for just a couple of years. Okay, so maybe over 20. Maybe, right at the age, and I'm going to read some of this because I found this interesting. I, of course, went online and Google searched, right? And I just always like to look for some new tidbits about people. But I learned that you started in the business age 26, and in a very short time, you made over $1 million. And then you developed the kitchen tabletop presentation.
I'm going to take the dogs for a quick walk down the street.
Okay, and they're muted. Okay. I love that technology. I love that. But anyway, he developed that, and then he's running a Salesforce team of over 13 people, teaching them how to close, and then a business develops, is what I think I'm reading here. And I love that because who better than to teach us than somebody that developed that kind of a training. And then MJ goes on, and he's a keynote speaker and he's a presenter to some of the world's largest network marketing companies and organizations and businesses. And he's sharing the stage with some of my favorites. I mean, MJ is one of my favorites, but he's also with Les Brown and Brian Tracy. And MJ has written, you know, it's really funny. I found a thing, MJ, and it says 5 to 17 books. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe somebody wrote your bio and they weren't sure themselves. So I thought that was really funny. But here's the really important thing. Besides MJ teaching Jeff and I this, you guys see, I highly recommend me. I mean, this has been a staple sentence in every training, in every closing, in every conversation. You know, what I recommend, or I highly recommend, that actually you'll hear it in several conversations. You'll hear it in every single one of my phone calls. MJ taught me that, and it's just the best sentence. However, he's going to move on and share with everybody something new that I am like, I was on an hour Zoom with MJ last week, and he was teaching me everything, this new, great, amazing, what he's going to share with you, and I'm not going to tell you, I'm gonna let him tell you. And I am as excited as heck, you can tell, because I'm like blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so then I jump on LinkedIn and I see this. I see that MJ believes this. He says, I believe, you're like, what did I say? I believe that the most problems in business, and I know a lot of you can relate to this, I believe that most problems in business can be solved with more prospects, more activity, and higher level activity. And he has a passion for teaching other people how to execute on the vision in their business. So Please welcome to our team Zoom business meeting, Mr. MJ Durkin. Woo! And the crowd goes wild. Woo! But they're all muted.
That is absolutely, let me tell you, that was the second best introduction I have ever had. That's the second best introduction I ever had. The first best introduction I had, I was in Kansas City, and the guy that was supposed to introduce me didn't show up, so I had to introduce myself. but your introduction was absolutely second to mine. So, hi everybody. When you start to say MJ believes, I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I said online? Like I said, is she going to talk about my spiritual? I was like, what do I believe? I mean, I believe a lot of stuff. That's a really scary statement. MJ believes. Oh, I started reaching for my book. I'm like, is she going to say the Bible? Is she going to say Jesus? What's she going to say? Oh, man. So thanks, everybody. Really excited to be here. Really want to just, for those of you who don't know, this was the first of 8 books that I wrote. Yeah, just like, you know, I've written 8 books. I'm writing my 9th, 10th, and 11 books right now. And my son and I just published our first book together, You Can't Get Rich If You Feel Poor. This book, Double Your Contacts, has sold over 300,000 copies. So, and mostly because I opened my mouth and talked to thousands and thousands of people on stages with Brian Tracy, Les Brown, and I remember the day in Atlanta when I was with Les Brown and everybody ran to the back of the room to buy my stuff that day, and they didn't buy Les Brown stuff. It was a very famous day for me. I was very.
Hey, MJ, you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, not
right there.
Not,
There, stay there.
they're right there. Just
Yes.
hold my computer up, and no problem.
Okay, there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like that? All right. So so let's get started. Let's get right into presenting, and let me show them what you love so much. Yes. All right. So let me see. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab this amazing presentation. And we're going to grab this one here. Beautiful, beautiful. And we are.
You're a little garbly still. I don't know what happened.
Okay, well, we will fix that. Let me see. Does that fix it?
Yeah.
All right.
Do you have to stand on one foot and like?
Yeah. I got some tin foil sticking out of my back pocket, and
good. Keep that there.
all right. Okay, so what if there was a way, Isogenics Consultants, what if there was a way that you could build relationships with local business owners, salespeople, and managers in your local business community that would produce hundreds of qualified leads that would become customers or could be enrolled as new associates in your Isogenics business, and people that wanted to build an Isogenics business? Would that excite you? Everybody raise your hand and say, yes, MJ.
Yes, and you're garbly again, MJ.
Still garbly, huh?
Yeah, it's not just me.
Do you have a headset you can put on?
I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Let's see if that works, because I don't want them to miss anything. Like, I am so fired up about this. I think it's the most brilliant idea ever. And especially since you wrote that book about doubling contacts. I mean, this is like, this makes so much sense.
I also love anybody who says that I'm brilliant or a genius.
See? You are brilliant. And you're a genius.
Yeah. Oh, man. Thank God we're both already married. All right.
All right. Let's hope that.
I don't want to fight the ripped Jeff Beebe. I just don't want to fight him. I just don't. I think I could do a pretty good job, like maybe biting his ankles, but after that, I think he would take me out. Okay, so how does that sound?
It sounds great, but what has been happening is it starts off sounding really great and then it gets garbly. So I'm gonna cross everything I have.
Like, give me this thing, or
Yeah.
give me this thing. Just stop me if we have a problem. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You slap me around in a Zoom-like way. Okay. All right. So, and what if you could do this without leaving your home or your office? Everybody nod your head up and down and say, yeah, all right. So that would be just good. Good. Okay. You can hear me okay, Deb, or no?
It keeps garbling. It's like the minute you start talking, I don't know, is Satan interfering? I'm like,
yeah.
You held up the Bible, that's why.
Forces of darkness, yeah.
Put the Bible in your hand.
Yeah.
Keep it in your hand.
Okay.
I really don't know.
All right, let's try this. Let me get real close to that speaker. Let me get really close to that speaker. All right. So how's this sounding? Pretty good?
Yes, but I hate to say that.
Okay, well, let's just keep going. I think it'll be great. All right.
Okay.
And we're calling Zoom first thing tomorrow morning. Check out and see what's going on here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask everybody at the end of the presentation, if you like what you see tonight, I'm going to ask you to send me a text. And there's only one decision you want to make today. And that decision is Jeff and Debbie want to get a feel for whether or not you like what you see today, see tonight. And all I need you to do is to, at the end of our presentation, I'm going to ask you to text to this number. And if you're in Australia, you can use the chat. And you can chat in a yes when we're done. So the only thing we're looking for you tonight to think about is, do you like what you see? If you like it and you want to be a part of it, we need to see a yes from you if you're interested, and we'll tell you all the details at the end. Is that a fair statement, Debbie BB? And can you hear me okay?
That's a great statement. I love that. And you start to get a little garbly.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
All
I
right.
want to say that. Maybe I need to stay unmuted.
My speaker
Why
is
don't
not.
you try to do this real quick? Why don't you, should he hang up and come back in?
Or come back on, how about come back into my phone?
Yes.
Yeah, you can change your audio. I was going to suggest that maybe you could try to come in on a different audio instead of your internet audio.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'll do. All right, so I just need to find that phone number, right?
And I'll just sing and dance.
That's good. And I find the phone number. Where do I find that phone number?
So if you go, oh, Stephanie's got it.
Hold on, I'll message.
All right, Stephanie's got that. I'm really excited, you guys. Just hang in there. You know, the greatness is that technology takes us worldwide. And sometimes we have little glitches, but that's okay because we get to listen and learn and really get some goods from high-end top trainers. So I'm really excited. Just hang in there. Do a little
Your Facebook Messenger, MJ. Check your Facebook Messenger messages.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, I know. Okay. Oh, look at everybody's pretty cute faces. I'm taking a screenshot. Ready? Want to smile? Nice.
You sound like you're talking to babies.
I know. I have to be like that once in a while because on the other end, I'm kind of just mean.
That's your way of softening yourself up?
Yeah. Maybe. Are you
or the BB babies?
They're the BB babies. I love that. That's so cute. Okay, are you on your phone now, MJ? You ready to rock?
Not just yet, but I'm getting there.
Coolio.
We're
Oh,
Sorry, had
there.
technical difficulties. Look at it again.
oh, okay.
Almost there.
So congratulations to everybody. There's been some rank advancements in this team, and congratulations. There's been managers and there's been consultants, and we're so excited to watch everybody's growth. And there's been a lot of enrollments, and I know right now I can see his cute little face, and I think as far as the team goes, but I'll get the final numbers tomorrow for the month of September. I think Frankie was in the lead. You could have a close with Thomas Campbell. So I don't know. And then Randall Rosa, and I don't know if he's on here, but I know that he had a lot of enrollments too. So I'm going to check all the numbers for the month of September. But so far, what I know, Frankie, you're in the lead, and you bypassed me and Jeff too. So we're like, we got to step up our game. So congratulations for that. That's really exciting. And the rest of you that are here and ready to rock and doing the do, and you're committed to really building your Isogenics business and sharing what we have with everybody, we're really proud of you, and we're really grateful for each and every one of you. So grateful. Somebody said, yay, Frankie, in the chat. All right, how you doing, MJ? Well, he's still muted.
All right.
Oh.
I think I'm in.
Oh, and
Wait
with a little tiny echo, but we could deal with that instead of the garble. Or maybe you have to turn off your computer speaker.
Yeah, I've muted myself on the computer, so I'm just on the phone. Let's try this. How's that? Can you still hear me? You can't hear me now.
No, we can hear you.
Let's
You
go.
can hear me okay?
Take
Yes.
it away.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, keep giving me the thumbs up or the thumbs down, okay? Let me know, all right? All right, let's rock and roll. Let's do the damn thing. All right, let's go here. Here we go. We are headed toward the PowerPoint. All right, so, okay, can you see in 1997 MJ saw an ad? Can you see that okay? Everything's good. I love it. Oh, I love all the thumbs up. Thanks. You can hear me good. Praise God. Okay, here we go. So I see this ad in the BizOps section in 1997. I was just a little tiny sales trainer back then. And my son Corey was he was 5 years old, and the ad said, run a monthly business meeting for business people, help them get leads, help them to give them advice and do training. So I went to a meeting in a hotel. Sound familiar, everybody? Yep, I went to a meeting, and I was one of 3 people that went to the meeting, and I saw a slide presentation. And when I tell you slide presentation, I mean slides in the carousel. Okay, I don't mean a PowerPoint. I mean slides in a carousel. And the other 2 guys took off. They left the meeting, and I bought a $10,000 license to the one sucker in the room. I bought a $10,000 license to open up a chapter of a company called the Small Business Network. Now, these guys who started this company, they were former Tony Robbins trainers, and they loved BNI. They loved Business Networking International. Are you all familiar with BNI? Nod your head up and down in the affirmative like this if you know BNI. Okay. So they loved BNI, but they did BNI in a different way. They turned BNI upside down, and they said, let's do BNI, let's do a thing like BNI, but let's do it just once a month. We'll do it once a month. We'll do a dinner and training. And so I started putting businesses in my small business network. I had 1 chiropractor, 1 auto mechanic, 1 massage therapist, 1 Reiki practitioner, 1 attorney, 1 accountant. You name the businesses, I had them. As a matter of fact, we exchanged thousands of dollars worth of business with each other, and I had 100 members in my group at $800 per year. In order for you to be in my group and come once a month to have a dinner and training, I charged you $800 a year, and people loved my group we had 100 business owners, and I made $80,000 a year before the word side hustle was ever even invented. Okay, now, the thing that I learned, the thing that's really cool about running your own chapter of any kind of a network is when you run the chapter, you get all the visibility. I got the most leads in my chapter. Everybody sent me the speaking leads. Everybody sent me the sales training leads because I took the sales training portion. That was the profession that I took in my virtual business network, and everybody sent me all of those sales training leads. Is this making sense so far? Nod your head up and down, and you can hear me okay? Excellent. Good, good, good. Okay, so what if there was a way that you could build those relationships? Again, I want to talk about what if there was a way that you could, each one of you could personally be the leader. You could be the leader of a chapter of a group where everybody that was coming into the group could either become customers, they would give you referrals, and what if you could just add 6 new customers per month and 3 new builders per month? And I said to Debbie when I showed her to her last week, I was like, you know, I know these are rhetorical questions. And she's like, no, listen, I'm in. I like this idea. Like, okay, yeah, you're right. If everybody could get 6 new customers and 3 new builders every month, what would happen? There would be rank advancing like crazy on this team. Everybody say, woohoo, woohoo. Yes, you would be rank advancing like crazy. So what I did was I took my old idea, I combined it with a new idea. So I invented a thing called the Virtual Business Network. Now here's what it is. A virtual business network is a hybrid of old-fashioned relationship building like BNI, but we blend it with technology. Debbie says, oh, I like this part. Okay, so here's what I said. I said, why would we drive to meetings? Why would we waste time? Why would we eat cold eggs, blow out half a day or an evening in traffic when we could get dozens of leads for your business online? So I invented a thing called the Virtual Business Network. It is the most efficient way to build relationships literally with 50 to 100 to 200 business owners that will be feeding leads into your Isagenix business. Everybody say, does everybody want more leads and more people to talk to? Everybody say, uh-huh, uh-huh. All right, so what do small business owners want the most? I say that small business owners, no offense to the big man, 6'7", to Tony Robbins, I say they don't need another date with destiny or a fire walk. Here's what they need. What they need, what small business owners want and need is they need new customers. When you send customers, clients, and referrals to small business owners, here's what happens. They fall madly in love with you. They want to help you. And if you're running your own chapter of your own virtual business network, here's what's going to happen. And you're talking about Isagenix. You're talking about releasing weight. You're talking about nutritional cleansing. You're giving your testimonials every week in your group. Everybody in your group is going to point to you as the expert in everything that you do that relates to Isagenix, including side hustle. Okay? So I want you to be the king or queen of side hustle inside of your virtual business network. You don't bring any other networkers into your virtual business network. I want you as the benevolent dictator of your own virtual business network. I want you to control what goes on in there, and people are absolutely going to love you because you're going to send them leads, you're going to send them clients, you're going to send them customers. Imagine that you are the leader of a virtual business network of Boise, Idaho, of Melbourne, of New York City, of Houston. We just started 15 chapters in Houston last week alone, okay, where this thing is exploding because people are loving this idea. You get 50 to 100 business owners looking out for your Isagenix business, sending you referrals, sending their family, sending their friends, sending their employees. Now, you got to understand something. You're going to be the leader of the chapter. You run the deal, so all eyes look to you. I like to say it's kind of like the pastor in my church. You know, the pastor in our church he's on the end of the platform every Sunday, and he's teaching us and he's guiding us. All of us look to him, to our pastor Justin, as kind of he is the most visible person in the church because he's the one who kind of guides us every week. Does this make sense? When you're running a chapter, everybody looks to you because you've pulled the 50 or 100 people together, and they all are looking to you. So you get all leads and referrals flow up to you because you've got the visibility and you've got the authority. So what I had to do was I had to test this idea. So I actually started my own virtual business network of New Milford, Connecticut. I live in a little sleepy New England town. There's 4 churches on the green on each corner in the northwest hills of Connecticut. There's 30,000 people in our town, and I started the virtual business network of New Milford, Connecticut. Let me tell you what we are. We are a group of top business owners. The only way to come into a virtual business network is you've got to be a top business. You've got to be really good at what you do. The only way to come into a virtual business network is by referral. We must ensure that the people that are in the network will provide quality products and services, and they are the best. The people that are in my network, I'm going to show you some of them in a minute, they are top-notch brick and mortar businesses. The members agree to support the group members. Here's what we've done. We've built a community of people, of business owners that supports each other. We've built a community that wants to help each other. We want to do business with each other when we can. We want to refer our family, friends, our work associates, and our employees to the other businesses. We strive to help each other in that way. Now, our meetings are every Tuesday morning at 8:15 to 9 a.m. Eastern. We're about an hour and a half from New York City, as I said, in New Milford, Connecticut. Attendance is not required, but it's encouraged. If you've ever been in a BNI group, there are a lot of militant rules. Everybody who doesn't like the rules of BNI, shake your head and go, They're terrible. Okay? Entrepreneurs don't like rules, right? They don't like BNI saying, be there at 7 o'clock. You have to give leads. You can't have any absences. People hate that stuff. So we don't have a lot of rules. But we do know that if we run a real efficient meeting, that we won't be wasting time. And I'll tell you, my meetings are the most efficient meetings that you've ever seen. I get people on a Zoom panel. I do everything on Zoom. We are going to meet maybe once a quarter or once every 6 months. We're going to have a meeting at one of our members' restaurants where we can get together, probably do a Christmas party or something like that. But we want everything to be efficient, so we do everything on Zoom. The other thing we encourage the members to do is to start a private Facebook group for their chapter. Now, we know this is a great idea. We know this through network marketing because we know the power. Those of us that have followed network marketing, we know the power of private Facebook groups. Everybody nod your head up and down and say, yes, MJ. Yes, these are very powerful. This gives you a closed community of people that can give and get leads to each other 24/7. My members in my group, they are giving each other leads at midnight. Hey, Kathy, you need to know about this person. Hey, Jason, so-and-so needs a new deck built. Hey, Rhodey, somebody needs you to cook meals for them. I mean, it's amazing what happens inside the Facebook group. So even if people miss the Tuesday morning meeting, they can still be very active inside the Facebook group. It's a very, very important thing to start a Facebook group for each chapter. And by the way, you, as the administrator of the Facebook group, you can keep advertising your testimonials, your before and after pictures. You've got a closed community where you can build trust, credibility, and just literally every day you can be posting stuff. It doesn't bother people because they expect it because it's a business group and everybody's supposed to promote themselves inside the group. Guess who's going to be the best at promoting themselves inside the group? You! Yes, that's right. You are going to be the best. All right, let me tell you about Pels. So Pels, I don't know where the name Pels came from, but anyway, I love Pels. Bonnie and I, the beautiful Bonnie and I got married 4 years ago, and we had to sell Bonnie's condo. We finally joined our families, paying for 2 houses for like years and years. And finally we got married, moved in together, and Pels was able to sell Bonnie's condo. We love Pels because nobody else could do it. I called Pels up. I said, Pels, you know I love you. He says, I know, MJ, you're a great client. I said, I'm starting a networking group. Pels says, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You know, realtors sell millions of dollars worth of stuff out of networking groups. I said, I know. He said, I'm excited, but you need to know something, MJ. I'm 45 years old now, and I'm not driving anywhere. And I go, right, Pels, I get it. You are going to love this. By the time I finish showing this to Pels, Pels says, are you kidding me? Are you telling me I can network with 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 business owners and I never have to leave my office or my house? He says, MJ, how much is it? $1,000 bucks, $600? Get ready, folks. We put people in our networks for free. We don't want it to be a hard sale. I said to Pels, you come into my group. If you give people leads, if you will do business with my members, if you will be good to them, you can be the only realtor in the group and you will make a fortune. He said, dude, I'm in. I'm going to be your best member. And he has been. He was the first guy I put in the group because I knew him and I believed in him, and he took the realtor spot. Remember, we do an individual spot for the realtor, the chiropractor, the massage therapist, the photographer, the auto mechanic, the pest control person, the personal fitness trainer. By the way, if you're a personal fitness trainer, I want you to take releasing weight. I want you to take health and energy. I want you to take personal fitness, right? You are the benevolent dictator of your group. I don't care if you take 10 professions. You run the darn group. Woohoo! Finally, control. By the way, let me tell you something about BNI groups and lay tip groups. They hate network marketers. They don't like network marketers in their groups because they don't want you recruiting. Let me tell you, in a virtual business network, what MJ Durkin thinks of network marketing. I love network marketing. I think you're awesome. I want you recruiting the hell out of these people because they need what you do. They need cleansing, don't they? They need nutritional cleansing. They need what you have to offer. Okay? They need more energy. They need to release weight, and most of them need a side business, even if they've got a full-time business. Would you agree? Oh, yes, absolutely, they do. So let's look at Ann. Ann does an anniversary dinner for the beautiful Bonnie and I. I set up a surprise dinner for my wife. I rent out the patio that overlooks where we got married. I had Ann come in and do a dinner. She made the exact same dinner that we had at our wedding. Wow. Bonnie was amazed. It got her to cry. It was wonderful. And as soon as I paid Ann the $600 for the private dinner that was privately catered, I immediately recruited her into my group. Right? So you're going to recruit people into your group that you do business with, and the next week, Ann got a customer that literally, she told me, made her $3,000 in profit. She says, MJ, I love your free group. I said, yeah, and don't you love me? And she said, I do love you. How can I help you? See, think about this. When you give small business owners an opportunity to get business, that's better than any training seminar you could ever send them to, because they're like, wow, you know what? That person who ran that group put money in my pocket. How can I help them? Let me tell you about Kathleen. Kathleen has a personnel staffing agency. She's been beaten up bad by Indeed.com and by ZipRecruiter.com. She's going through a divorce. She's got 3 teenage kids. Her husband is kind of a knucklehead. He's kind of MIA. She's the main breadwinner. Her business is having a hard time. I put her in my group. She says, MJ, I don't have any money. I said, don't worry, the group is free. Right? She's got like four or five employees. She's struggling to make it work. She joins my group. She gets a job for one of our guys, one of our members' kids. The man is so excited and so grateful. He calls Kathleen up. He says, you got my kid a $20 an hour job. You are my favorite person in the whole world. How can I help you, Kathleen? How can I help you? She said, I'm looking to meet accountants, people that hire a lot of clerical people. I need to place secretaries, administrative people. He says, no problem. I'm going to hook you up with my accountant. Kathleen calls me the next week. She says, MJ Durkin, you are my favorite person in the whole world. I said, why? She said, Garrett was so happy with the job I got for his son that he introduced me to his accountant. The accountant is the biggest accountant in our city. They employ over 100 people. I think you just saved our company's year. I'm like, damn, I knew this would work. I knew that if I connected people and I got them connecting the right way, that they would do business together and that everybody would benefit. Now, think about this. If you were the Isogenics person and you just helped Kathleen get the biggest client of the year, if you wanted to ask her to attend a webinar, do you think she would do that for you? Do you think if you wanted to come and sit down at her kitchen table and show her how to do some nutritional cleansing and get some samples and get started with a pack, don't you think she'd be open to at least listening to you? Wow, I'm telling you, she would be. I'm telling you, my members are very, very loyal to me because I've put money in their pocket and I've helped them to build relationships. Here's Eric. He's our high-end architect in the group. He lives 2.5 hours away from us. Your people do not have to be local. Usually your people will start out local, but this guy's great. He loves doing business in New York City. He lives 2.5 hours away from us, but he's on our call every Tuesday morning, helping people, giving advice. He's awesome. Here's Joe. Joe is one of my co-founders. I teach you in my training that you need to get 5 co-founders to help you build the group. I don't want you running the group by yourself. I don't want you doing all the meetings by yourself. And so I teach you how to get 5 people that can help you. This guy could sell brass knuckles to Gandhi. So, I mean, he's just the kind of guy that could just talk a dog off a meat wagon. He could sell sand to Saddam. I mean, he's that kind of guy. So I call him Boca Grande. He's got a big mouth. I say, Joe, big mouth, you need to be one of my co-founders. He goes, I'm in, man. I love this idea. You just need to know one thing, MJ. I'm not driving anywhere. I said, dude, I get it. You're going to love this. It's all online. He said, you're a genius, which we know MJ loves to hear. Here's our mortgage guy. The mortgage guy last week calls me up. He says, oh, you remember Kathleen? Kathleen's going through a divorce. She needs to refinance her house. Steve does the refinance for Kathleen. He says, I love your group, MJ. He said, I made a $5,000 commission helping Kathleen get her house refinanced. I think you're the greatest. Listen, if you want to talk about reciprocity in this thing, you're building a community of people who literally are like, I love you, you're awesome, you helped me, you've provided so much value, how can I help you? Here's Jason, my 3 sons contracting. Boy, he's got 3 kids, they're 3 balls of fire, got a great wife, Kathleen. He's got 6 guys swinging hammers for him, doesn't know anything about marketing, doesn't know anything. He doesn't even have a website. I had to take a picture of his business card and find a picture of him at a Yankees game on Facebook in order to build his profile. But I'm telling you, he loves the network and he's getting tons of business out of it. Here's our plumber. Plumbers will make a fortune in your group. They love this thing. This guy is one of the best networkers in the world. This guy, this man is a business development guy for a $500 million company. Now, let me tell you why I love this guy. He starts putting my members in touch with his $500 million company so that they can do business with his $500 million company. Because he's like calling his guys at his main office and going, hey, you should be talking to this person and you should be talking to this person. He says to Joe, the alarm guy, he says, how would you like to do a bid for a hospital with closed circuit television cameras and an alarm system? Joe's like, bid a hospital? He goes, MJ, this could accelerate my retirement to Florida by 5 years. He said, that's a huge account to get. Can you know what you have to do to get somebody to let you come in and do a bid for a hospital? This guy, Doug, look at this guy. Doesn't he have the kindest face? Doug is the nicest guy in the world. All he wants to do is help people. All he wants to do is help people. He loves being a part of the group. Final story here. This is Dina and Eric. Dina is the mom. Eric's the chef. Dina mortgaged her house. She mortgaged her house so she could start this restaurant. The restaurant is not doing very well. Bonnie and I love the place. Great food, great service, great family. I said, Eric, you got to get into our network. He goes, MJ, we don't have any money. I said, don't worry about it. I'm going to put you in the group. He goes, MJ, Tuesday mornings, I can't make those meetings. It's my only freaking day off. I said, don't worry. I'm going to make a slide for you. I'm going to advertise you in the group. 1 week later, Eric calls me. He goes, dude, what did you do? I said, what? He goes, 5 couples came in this week for dinner. They said, the network, MJ Durkin. He said, I spent $2,000 on Google AdWords a couple months ago. I didn't get one single client. I join your free network. 5 people come in for dinner at my restaurant. Do you know how valuable that is to me? I said, I do. I told everybody in the Facebook group, I showed your slide at our meeting, and I said, this business needs some help. If you can support them, and if you eat food, go support this business. Guess what? My members rose to the occasion. They supported his business. They loved it. Here's Kate. Kate's is our jeweler in the group. I taught Kate how to do virtual FaceTime tours of their jewelry. Kate told me their walk-in business is down 80% over the last 5 years. You know why? People are even buying jewelry online, right? I told her, do a Facebook tour. She said that was a FaceTime tour. She said that was an amazing idea, MJ. I sold 3 pieces of jewelry that week that I wouldn't have sold by giving people FaceTime tours that couldn't come into the store. You see, Isagenix consultants, a lot of brick and mortar people do not know the things that you know about marketing. They don't know about Facebook Lives. They don't know about capturing email addresses. They don't know about building an online persona, but you can teach them. You can bring tremendous value to these businesses that are here. This is what their store looks like on the outside, and there's the owner of the store. He's the jeweler. Great guy, 67 years old, and doesn't even have a Facebook page. Some of these brick and mortar people just don't know what they're doing, but you can bring them into the fold. So here's what we tell. By the way, the slides that you're looking at, these are the slides that we use to run the meeting. So what I do is I find John on the Zoom and I say, okay, John, tell us about John Fulton Jewelers. Tell us what is a good lead for you. Tell us how we can help you. You're all familiar with the 2-minute commercial at BNI. We do a 2-minute commercial too. We just do it on Zoom. We just have them do it on Zoom. They don't have to drive to a meeting. They don't have to eat any eggs. They don't have to pay for a breakfast. You know, Isagenix people don't like eating that breakfast. They want to drink their shake, right? They hate the breakfast at BNI and lay tip. I've heard more Isagenix consultants say, they charge me $100 a quarter, and I hate eating. I won't eat that breakfast. I have my Isagenix stuff. Right? Why pay for stuff that you're not going to eat? Right? Okay. So here's what we do. We tell people it works if you work it. Get to know the members. This is what I tell them at the end of every meeting. I say, call a member, get to know people in between the meetings, learn about them. Number 3, you got to give. You got to have a servant's heart. If you have a servant's heart and you give, eventually you are going to get referrals. You're going to get referrals. So what I've done is I put together a training course. I put together a training course, and I'm going to show you what the training course is, and then I'm going to show you how you can text a yes into me at that number, or you put a yes in the chat, and we can see how many people want to get trained to build your own chapter So what I've done is I've developed a training course to help you start your own virtual business network chapter. You get 4 one-hour courses of detailed live training, and you get the recording. So whenever I finish a training, I then, once the Zoom call buffers and I get the recording uploads to Zoom, I send you the exact recording. If you miss the training, don't worry about it, because you get every single thing that I teach in a recording. Now, with this group, with Jeff and Debbie's team, this will be one of the last groups that I'll be doing live, because I'm getting so busy now I have to put everybody in an automated training. But what I will do for Jeff and Debbie is I will train you live over a 4-week time period. You'll be able to ask and answer and get questions from me, and I will train you live. You'll probably be one of the last groups that I'll be training, that I'll do live. You are put in a private Facebook group with me over the next year, where you can ask me questions, and everything that I do in my own group to make it better, I'm going to teach you and pass it along to you. You're going to receive all the PowerPoint templates, all the meeting agendas, all the invites. I'm going to show you how to run a virtual meeting. You're going to show you how to run the private Facebook group. I'm going to show you how to do the slides. Every single thing that we've developed, we're going to give to you as a part of the training. Here's how it's going to work. The investment for the training. Now, eventually, and actually very soon, this thing's flying so fast. It's only 3 months old. Okay, you want to talk about ground floor. I started my group 3 months ago. Okay, my group has 70 members in it. Okay, imagine if you had 70 businesses looking out for your Isogenics business. There's a $3,000 one-time fee. There are no monthly fees. There are no extra costs. It is a $3,000 one-time fee. There are no additional fees. I may come back to you later on, 6 months, a year down the road, and say, we've got some funding. We're building a big network. Do you want to be a part of what we're doing or not? Remember, this is just training. You and I do not have a contract. You can do whatever you want. You can call it the BB Express Network. You can call it whatever you want. I don't care. Okay? But eventually, I may come back to you and say, hey, you've got 70 or 100 members there in California. Maybe you'd like to be a part of something bigger. Our goal is to get 300 chapters up and running, and then we have a company that wants to give us about 10 million to take us to the next level. When we're ready to do that, we'll come to you and say, do you want to be a part of us? You may say, nope, I'm fine. I have the Virtual Business Network of Boise, and it ranked me to Crystal Manager, and I'm pretty happy. So I don't need you, MJ. Thanks a lot. No prob. Have a nice life. God bless you. Okay, so here's what we do. We divide the fee by the number of leaders taking the training. So if we've got 6 people that text me a yes or put yes in the chat, it's going to be $500 each. If we've got 10 people, it's going to be $300 each. If we've got 20 people, it's going to be $150 each. So the thing that I'm going to ask you to do right now is I'm going to ask you to, as we talk a little bit more about this and we open it up to Jeff and Debbie, is I want you to go ahead and text your name, text a yes and your name to 203-948-7423. Just text yes, then text your name. If you're international and that's not going to work with your phone, then go ahead and just chat into the chat and put yes and your name. Just put yes in your name. So Kayla Spiroff says yes. Monique Fesser says yes. Satursha, they're going so fast I'm losing them here. Okay, Sean Rice says yes. Mike Glennon says yes. Satursha Seidel says yes. Okay, so let's see. Anybody?
In the chat too.
Say it again.
You have yeses in the chat too.
Yes is in the chat. Thank you. So Rennie Kahani says yes. Renee, probably Renee. Mark Greer says yes. Okay, so yeses, yeses, yeses. If you like what you saw, if you want to be a part of this, a yes means that once we get all the yeses together, the good news is we recorded this so we can get it. Rhonda P says yes. Chris and Lee Harville says yep. 5 points off. They didn't say yes, they said yep. But that's okay. We will take a yep. As long as they have a credit card, we'll take a yep. No problem.
That's how they say it in Mississippi.
I got a lot of clients in Mississippi, believe me. Frank Hernandez says yes. Debbie Beebe, who sounds like she's from Mississippi, says y'all know I'm a yes. She's a yes. Laura Wagner says yes. The chat is exploding with yeses. Carla McCall says yes. Jim and Cheryl Smith say yes. So Deb, as we're taking the yeses in, I'll mention them when they come in again. Tell me, let's go ahead and get your take on stuff, and everybody keep texting your yeses to me or keep putting them in the chat. Can somebody do me a favor and write down the ones that are coming in the chat, because I'm trying to juggle everything here, and if somebody could make sure, because when the chat tends to go away, I mean, we will have the recording, but
Yeah.
so if you're a yes, the more people that join, the lower the cost gets. So it's getting lower and lower with every yes that comes in. And I'm sure when people see the recording tonight or tomorrow, we'll have some more yeses. And you can also text any questions into me. Deb, comments, answers, violent disagreements.
I've got so many things rolling through my mind. When you and I were on, you and I were on the Zoom last week, I just was thinking how brilliant this is, because everybody in Isogenics, and it's a level playing field, and we all have our own networks. We all know people. We all know business owners. We all know physicians. We all know chiropractors. We know professionals that, of course, like you said, MJ, everybody needs more customers if they're doing business. We need more customers when we're doing business. So when you and I were talking last week, I just was thinking, this is so brilliant. The last thing I want to do is roll out of bed. I'm doing this job, if you will, call it a job, because I get to do it from home or from a beach. I don't have to drive to a restaurant and have soggy eggs. I don't want to do that. I don't want to roll out of bed and take a shower and do my hair and get all pretty and do. I don't want to. So that right there. But what mostly stood out to me was this book, The Go-Giver, and how you were talking about, you know, we're giving to people, we're serving people. And if you guys haven't read this book, The Go-Giver, it's definitely a must read. It's a little book. And it's just about this man who's really wealthy. And what he does is he connects people that need their services. That's what he does. He connects people. And when we connect people and serve each other in that manner, then we all make out. What did you call that? That's the law of, I can't say it.
Reciprocity.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's that law. So I think this is the most brilliant thing that I've heard of. And we all in Isogenics have either paid for business training, business coaching, how to, MJ Durkin, I highly recommend me, or what I highly recommend is, right? We've got the Eric Worre trainings, like we have all the outside training, but Isogenics has a lot of inside training. So to pay for another training, to me at this point in my build, and everybody else can decide what they think, but to me in my build, this is what I need to spend my next amount of business money, what I'm gonna spend in my business, put in my budget. This is what I need. I need more contacts, and I need more people referring to me. And of course, everybody in my group will definitely be on Isogenics, from the physicians to the plumbers. And who doesn't need a good plumber? I mean, that's just amazing. It's amazing to me. Amazing. So that's all I got.
Awesome. Jeff, any comments, ideas?
I just love this whole concept of this thing because a lot of our leaders go to network groups. You know, Chris Harville, he always goes to them and stuff like that. And he really tells us the power of them. So this is a great concept. And how you broke it down cost wise for a group to be able to do it. I got a question though. Now when it's a group and we build our sort of our own networks, and so each person, so there's not two Isogenics people in a network. It's all just like a normal networking community. There's one leader that represents health, one plumber, and that sort of thing. And just for the team, if it's a husband and wife thing, is that one or is that each person?
A husband and wife we'll consider as one, but they could build two separate networks.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing here is speaking of the go-giver, my job is to help you get as many networks going as possible. I'm not trying to make a big killing on this in the beginning. My big answer, my big payback is going to be later on when I have hundreds of chapters up and running. So my goal is I want to get you starting a chapter. You know, I'm going to teach you how to do this. We're not going to have a contract. If you want to start 2 networks or 3, go ahead. Take this thing and run with it. If you want to teach one of your people how to do it, it's okay with me. But you got to learn it first. And believe me when I tell you that it takes some skill and it takes some basic skills, and we've got it refined pretty well. You'll probably make it better. And as more and more people come into the fold, we're getting better and better because more and more people are saying, how about this? How about that? How about this? It is so fun to mold this clay and build this sculpture. I got to tell you, it is really, really cool to be building this. My wife has been begging me not to retire. The beautiful Bonnie is like, please don't retire. I know you can retire. Please. You get so tired. You're always falling asleep. You're always napping when she loves vacation, but she hates how I get, when I'm not creative. But this thing has really stimulated my creative juices. And it's going to, I'll tell you, when you start getting the testimonials and the stories and people saying how much they love this thing and how much money it's making them, it's just so much fun. By the way, the other thing is the longer that people are in your group and the more they hear your message of what you do, the more the chances are for them to say, I need you. My sister needs you. My wife just had a baby. She doesn't want to go back to her corporate job. I hear you talking about how you're traveling all the time and you're not tied down to a job. What do you mean when you say you help people do a side hustle? My wife doesn't want to go back to the law firm that she works for. When you stay in your group long enough and you build enough relationships, eventually everybody in your group's going to say, I need to lose weight. I got a family reunion coming up. My doctor told me I have to lose weight. I mean, I need a second business. By the way, in the wintertime, I'm really slow. You guys seem to be busy all the time. Can you show me a way to make extra money during my slow months? Praise God. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. So Becca says, what if you build in one city, but you move to another city? Perfect. Virtual works. You can build it around the world. You can have someone else run your meeting if you're on vacation. MJ, sounds like you need our shakes. Tell them about how I usually place an order of like $1,000 at a time with you, Deb. Right? I'm like, all right, send me 12 boxes of isoline bars. Here's my credit card. Do you want to know how much it is? No, send me the bars. I need the bars. Send them to me.
That's so cool. And
yes,
that side hustle, the business owners, like you're talking about, like maybe their sister-in-law or whoever just had a baby or whatever in their family, the business owner. I mean,
absolutely.
Their retirement fund? What is that? So, I mean,
their travel. their travel fund, their retirement fund.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. See, when you're running your group every week, and see, you're going to do a slide for you. You're going to make up a slide for you. You could show a before and after. You could tell your story. You could say, this is why I did it. This is why I do it. I still have my job. I'm full-time. I'm part-time. Whatever you want to. Every week you get to promote this inside of your Facebook group. You've got a closed community in that Facebook group. It's genius.
Yes.
It's a genius way to build relationships month after month after month. Oh, and by the way, your members, I have my members tomorrow. We are having a membership drive, and everybody is committed to bringing one guest to our meeting tomorrow. Do you know what's that's going to explode our network. People are going to get on this thing. They're going to get on the Zoom. They're going to see what we're doing, and they're going to go, this is amazing. I have to be a part of this.
Oh, I love that. And you could all, as a group, you could do a fundraiser too for Christmas time or Thanksgiving or, you know, any holidays. You could do a fundraiser for kids and with your network marketing, I mean, your network group. I mean, that's just.
With your network group. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
love it.
Yeah. We're having our first get together. Actually, the guy who's the member of the $500 million company, his company did a networking event at their office in Poughkeepsie, New York. And I went to that meeting. I went to that networking thing. He introduced me to people, and I got I got 20 leads. I got 20 leads of all of these business owners and principals of companies that need sales training and need my services. So I took a picture of all the business cards that I got at his event. So my member brings me to his networking event, and I got like 25 different business owners that want to meet with me and talk to me about my sales training and consulting business.
Nice.
So he had a networking event. Then I scheduled a networking event with the people that have the Cobblestones restaurant, because I want everybody to pour into their restaurant for a night of networking. So, you know, once every 6 months or so, you do an event where you get together. Some of my members I've never met in person. I just only know them through Zoom and Facebook. And you all know you can build pretty good relationships with people, can't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can do it online. People sometimes say, I don't know if you can build relationships with people online. Yes, you absolutely can. You can. So I put in there that Tammy Harden said yes, and I've got an 843, but I don't know your name. The 843. Tell me what your name is. I'm giving name question mark, and let's see. Go, Mark. Just go on auto ship. Makes it easier on yourself.
I agree. Let's do that.
I love these closers. I love being closed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mandy Cherry says yes. So, Deb, I don't want to keep people on if they're not expecting to be on. Does anybody have any questions, or anybody else want to text yes? It looks to me like we've got somewhere between 10 and 15. I think, Deb, do you think we'll have other people that have missed the call that we would tell them, have them watch the recording and then go from there?
I can do that. I can send it out. It'll be loaded up in our YouTube channel. So, you know,
hey Chris Harville, do you have any questions? I know you go to these quite a bit.
Yeah, I do. This is perfect because, you know, I go to one every Thursday, and well, I talk about it all the time. And I have this little group that I have has given me access to another group in Memphis. Between them, you know, I've enrolled 10 or 11 people, which is 10% or so of my business in the last year. And I've even got a name. So last week I was sitting there going, you know, I got to come up with a virtual way to do this with using a Zoom. So I'm sitting here doing all this in my head. I've even come up with Mid-South Referral Network and all this stuff. And now here this is. This is a no. So you're giving me the training that I needed to do what I wanted to do. So this is perfect. And yeah, I've got a few people that's going to enroll on this deal and work. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if there's 10 people in my area. There's enough businesses out there for all of us to create this virtual network. So it's a fantastic. I'm glad you do it. If you guys are listening on here, it's a no-brainer if you're gonna put this thing up, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of you haven't done networks before, but they work. And this, you can just see it go up times 10. It's a no-brainer.
So, Chris, I knew. I thought of you the minute MJ and I met. I was like, oh, Chris is going to be like, yes.
And this is the training that I needed, because I have it. I've got the Zoom. I know how to run one. I was the president over that little deal. But putting this in a format that I can make it work, because now an introvert like me, that's hard to make conversations out there with people that I don't know. It's so easy to walk into a business now because it's easy to give things away for free. Hey, you need to talk to the owner. I got something for you. Check this out. I'm his hero now. I mean, this is so easy,
Yeah. Chris, we did a text invite, right? So we came up with a text invite, we give you a sample of this, and this is a text invite. You can text people to come as a guest to your group, right? So then one of our guys that signs up his team, he says, can you print that thing out? Can you put that as a PDF, and can you print it out as a flyer? And I said, well, yeah, sure. Why not? Why? He goes, I want all my teammates to be able to walk into businesses with the flyer and say, hey, would you like to get more customers? Join our group on Tuesday morning and see how you can get more customers. So he said, I want all 50 people on my team. 50 of his people signed up. He said, I want all of my 50 people walking into businesses with their flyer going, hey, would you like to get more customers? I'd like to invite you to a free network. Why don't you come to the network and be my guest? So he said what automatically will happen is it will get people prospecting local business owners. Literally, they can walk the main street of towns, the strip malls, and walk into beauty salons, restaurants, martial arts places. Last week, I got 2 new members by walking into the strip mall where our caterer is. I went to visit Ann, and then I called on the nutrition company next to her and the beauty salon on the other side of her, and both of them joined the network. Of course, I used Ann as a reference. So we give you all kinds of ways to get into conversations with people about your network, and you're not walking in there offering them products, you're offering them business. That's genius, isn't it? Isn't it, Chris? That's genius.
Genius.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good.
We need to get this up to 20 as a team, guys. For all of us.
Yep. So let's see. I've got Kayla is a yes. Monique is a yes. Mike is a yes. That's 3. 4. Satersha is a yes. That's 5. Sean is 6. Carla is 7. Jim and Cheryl is 8. Tammy is 9. Jackie is 10. Mandy is 11. And has somebody else been writing down what's in the chat? How many more do I have in the chat?
I have the list from the chat.
Yes.
And I have some that you put in the chat as well. So, but Mark Greer, Renee, Chris and Lee, Rhonda P., Debbie and Jeff, Frank Hernandez, Laura Wagner. I think those are the ones that you had not called.
Okay.
I have a little bit of an overlap.
Okay.
Okay. And so how many do you think you have, Stephanie?
I have at least 8 names you did not call.
Okay. All right. So Lisa Brannon is in as well.
Yep, 9.
Perfect.
This takes action, guys. You take action. You learn, and you have to take action.
Yeah. Kayla said that's 20. Is that 20?
Can I make a recommendation?
I
Yeah.
highly recommend you.
I would highly recommend that you do this.
Yes.
Kayla says that's 20.
Yeah.
So we're very, very close. So we've got it down to a very reasonable amount. Oh my gosh, I'm very, very excited for you all. I'm sure whatever the final number is, I think we can safely say, Jeff and Debbie, that it will be between $150 and maybe a little bit lower than that. Is that a fair statement to make?
That's amazing. Sounds fair to me.
That's a great deal. It's a great deal. So
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Somebody said, when will the training start? We'll get all of the we'll get everybody's yeses, all their money in, and we will start sometime next week. All of the training courses are recorded, and anybody who joins the training gets all 4 of the recordings. Listen, you know my commitment to Jeff and to Debbie. They've been very, very good to me, and I am going to be very, very good to you because I really, really appreciate their support over the years. They've always supported me ever since that first call when Rhonda Collier threw Debbie under the bus and said, he said, Rhonda Collier, I'm going to be away. I'm going to be at Kalani Haunua this week. I won't be able to do the meeting I scheduled with MJ. But Debbie Beebe, you step in and do it. So you've always been so great to me. I'm going to give you guys 150%. You can ask me questions whenever you want. I want your networks to succeed. I want you to be my examples and my testimonials. And quite frankly, from a business standpoint, your testimonials are very, very valuable to me. I'm going to make sure you all win.
Nice. Doesn't get any better than that.
It's a pretty good,
Yeah.
I mean,
Any better than that.
I'll work personally with you. I have a lot invested in watching this idea work because I really want to. I think BNI has 265,000 business members on their rolls. I was amazed. No one has ever duplicated what BNI has done. No one has. They have really been the only game in town for 30 years. My private equity guy said to me, we think you can double or triple that in a year or two using virtual networks. And if we can get 500 to 600,000 members, then it just will make us all look so good. We'll have so much leverage. People will be clamoring to get into your groups. I mean, they will be dying to get into your groups, and you'll just be the superstar of your group, and all things Isogenics will come to you and through you, and it's just phenomenal. So Renee says, wow, attending a BNI group this week. Yep. So I want to make sure that, and as my friend Carla says, just 2 enrollments pays for it. Yep. There you go. So I just want to make sure that everybody, make sure that you get your information to Debbie so that I make sure I don't miss anybody. Deb, you have a way to get in touch with everybody, right, and let them know what we're doing. And
Yes.
all right, so I don't want to miss anybody, but I've got everybody that sent it to my phone. That was great. And Stephanie, you've got the list for me that you took off of the chat, right? Awesome. Any final questions before we go?
I highly recommend you.
And I love you too, Jeff
I've been
Beebe.
using that term for what now? 4 years, ever since we met. Can I make a recommendation? It's always worked.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
with one of the question, when do we get started? And you said probably next week, which I'm kind of sad because after that I'll be gone for 2 weeks, but that's okay. That's okay, because it's
Is it,
recorded.
is it going to be by Zoom?
Yes.
It will be by Zoom, yes.
In
Mhm.
the Cayman Islands.
Okay, so what's the best way for you, MJ? We have a list. Do you want to, like, how do we get everybody in touch with everybody and give the dates and all that and payment and all that kind of stuff? How do we do that? What's the best way for you?
So if you get everybody's name and their email address to me, then I can have my staff can put together a group email list, and we can email to everybody, and then we can pick up any stragglers, with you maybe, putting in something inside of your team page.
Okay.
If you haven't received an email from MJ,
Yeah.
make sure you contact him. So I need everybody to get me their email addresses. Those of you who texted me, you can start by sending me. You can text me your email address as well. That would be very helpful. I can give that right to my assistant tomorrow, and she can start putting together the list, and we can have the list by the end of the week, and we can schedule the training next week. By the way, don't worry if you miss the training, because everything's recorded. So you're going to watch the recording just like you were there. You're going to get every bit inside the training. Zoom is amazing, and you'll get the full recording. So I say we get started next week, and let's get it going. And then anybody that misses it, you'll just be able to review the trainings whenever you're at your leisure, and you can get going, and you'll be in the private Facebook group, so you can ask me any questions that you want.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have, except for the people that had to jump off, and I'll let them know. But here's what we're going to do. Everybody on the line right now, everybody on Zoom right now can see this number, 203-948-7423. Text your email right now. Text your email so MJ has it. So somehow, if you're not friends with me on Facebook, when you message me, if I don't see the message or whatever, you have this number. So text
How about the people
right
that's
now with your name.
What do you want them to do that's out of the country right now?
Yeah, so I'll have them email to me, hey?
Can you put the email up?
I can, yep. Okay, so my email is themjdurkin@gmail.com. themjdurkin@gmail.com. Can you see that on the screen?
Yes.
Now everybody has to be accountable for themselves.
Yeah.
And send it.
And
yep. So you've either texted me your email address, or you're going to email me your name and your yes to themjdurkin@gmail.com, and that way we'll have that by tomorrow morning, and we'll get everything squared up this week. We'll send you a link. Everybody that sends us the email, you will get you'll get a link, and the link will have the cost. You'll just click on the link. You'll pay with our secure server, and then we'll start the training sometime next week. And again, don't worry if you can't make it that particular night. I'll do it in the evening so that people are more likely to be able to do it. Is there any particular night of the week that is better?
Tuesday or Thursday is always good for us because it seems like we have our training, and Wednesdays, a lot of people in the team this fourth quarter, a lot of people are doing like their sip and samples or their healthy change presentations on Wednesday night. So Tuesday,
right.
Thursday, Laura Wagner says Thursday. Yeah.
And are you talking East Coast? Because we do have a lot of East Coast. We have, Canada and then West Coast. So probably this time's a good, I think.
So sometime around about 8:30 Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern is good, Jeff?
I would think so, because then you got the people that are getting off work here. 6 o'clock would be 9 o'clock there. 6 o'clock gives time people to get home. 9 o'clock in the East Coast gets done with dinner, and they can sit down and watch it.
Yep, 9 o'clock is good with me.
Jake.
9 o'clock is good. So tentatively right now, we're going to say that our training is going to be next Thursday at 9 p.m. That's off the top of my head. I got to check calendars and all that stuff. But for right now, we'll say that, and then we'll communicate with everybody. And I'm really excited for you all. This is going to be amazing. It is going to rank advance you 1, 2, 3 levels. I'm gonna tell you, if you put a lot into this, if you will do this, if you will do it, it will work.
Yep.
If you don't do it, here's what I guarantee: it will not work.
That's just like that sounds just like our compensation plan.
The Cougars pay you the same way. If you work, lots of money. If there's no work, no money. But if you'll follow what I teach you and you do this, man, I'll tell you, this team is going to rock it. It works if you work it, and it won't if you don't. So thanks, everybody, for being here. Make sure you get me that email to themjdurkin@gmail or text me your email. Can't wait to set this up with you. The BB Express, we love you. Thank you for your trust in us. Let's rock this thing. Let's go kick some butt.
Okay, unmute, Debbie, so we can go out like we're supposed to. Here we go.
Because I have all the power. Let me unmute.
Unmute us.
You're unmuted, everyone.
Yay!
Hey, Chris Arbel, unmute yourself.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Isotetics!
Woo!
Great call, MJ.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
So excited.
Bye.
Thank you.
Live it up, everybody.
Woo-hoo! Love it. Love these people. So good.
Thanks, Phoebe.
Lots of folks. Lots of folks.
Lots of folks.
Get on me. Where am I at?